when you don't forgive the person that has wronged you, when you don't forgive and you say, I am going to show them what it is that I'm made of, right? The Bible tells us that God Himself is not going to forgive you for your sins. So, what is it that you're holding on today, that you're holding in your heart, and you're telling yourself, I will not forgive that person? David is actually going to destroy everything. Have you ever been in that instance where you are now on your way to say, I'm going to show them? I am going to show them what I'm made of. And then on your way there, you just think to yourself and you're like, on second thoughts, I think I might just go back. What is that voice that speaks to you? Greetings once again and welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so by subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell so that you do not miss when a new video pops up, right? Now, also, guys, we are now available on Anchor, Spotify, as well as on Apple Podcast, and you can follow us on that channel. Now, you're also available on TikTok as well at Sinner Saved By _grace, and I will leave the links right here on the screen so that you can see, so that when you go on these different platforms, you will be able to follow the right channel. Now, today we will be doing a continuation of what we were talking about yesterday, right? Now, if you haven't watched the video for yesterday, I will put the link right here. Yes, right here, so that you can go and watch it, right? So that you can know what it is, what was happening there, what we were talking about, what was the main thing. And yesterday we were talking about revenge, right? But for you to get the message for today, you have to understand where it was coming from. And I urge you to go and watch that video, right? And I urge you to go and watch it. Now today, right, without wasting further time, we are going to be talking about revenge, right? For those that watched the previous episode, today we're going to be doing a continuation and we're going to be talking about revenge. So tune in to find out more. Now we're going to be reading from the book of 1 Samuel chapter 25 verse 34, right? Yeah, oh no, not 34 rather, but verse 39. We're going to be reading from the book of 1 Samuel chapter 25 verse 39, and it reads as follows. And when David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, Blessed be the Lord that had pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and hath kept his servant from evil, for the Lord hath returned the wickedness of Nabal upon his own head. And David sent and communed with Abigail to take her to him to wife. Now, if we read just a brief summary, guys, like we always do, just a brief summary of what is happening from verse 1 up until verse 39, right? We realize that there was a point where Nabal's people that keep the sheep, rather, were in the wilderness, right? Or some of his young men were in the wilderness. So when they were in the wilderness, they came into contact with David, right? And they came into contact with David, and David did them a favor, and he said he kept his people and nothing happened to them, right? So now it came a point whereby this young man needed to go back to Nabal, who was their master, right? And as they went back there, they go back to Nabal, and Nabal says, and before they go back to Nabal, David gives them these commandments, and he tells them that, listen, we have kept your people for free of charge. Nothing has happened to them. We've even protected them from anything that might have befallen them, right? So then David says, as a token of appreciation, right? Why don't you just, we're looking for bread. We need food to eat. Me and my people, we need food to eat, right? So why can't you then give us food for us to eat? And then this young man, they go to Nabal and they give him this commandment and they tell him exactly the things that David had spoken. Now, when Nabal hears these things, he says, oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Who is this David that I should even be afraid of? Who is this David, right? Who is this David guy that comes and says, you should give me food? How am I even to know that, these servants that run away from their masters? I am not going to do anything. I'm not going to even give him anything. I'm not going to return any favor, whether he kept you guys safe or didn't do anything to you guys. I am not going to do anything. So then the messengers then go back with the message to David. And they tell David the same thing, the news that they had been told by Nabal. That, and then David hears these things and he says, "What? Me? After all I had done for you guys, after I have kept you guys safely, now that means all my efforts were in vain. That means whatever it is that I did for you guys, everything was in vain," right? So then David, after hearing this, he gets angry and he decides to go to Nabal. So when David gets to Nabal, right, he gets there. Oh, not no. Before that, before he even goes to Nabal, or before he gets to where Nabal was, right, on his journey to go there, right. Remember now we had said that he gets angry and says, "This guy, after I'd done all these things, now all my efforts were in vain," right? He decides to go there. Now, on his way there, now Abigail, who was Nabal's wife, is told these things by some of the young men that remained. And then after hearing these things, she then says, "Okay, you know what, I'm going to go there." And then she meets David halfway, just to cut the story short. She meets David halfway, and then they're able to talk. And then David ends up saying, "You know what?" And she's able to soften up David and tell him that you should not take avenge, right? You should not be the one that revenges for what my husband did to you, right? So now, as we are reading in verse 39, when you go to verse 39, it then tells us that in the end, Nabal ended up dying, right? So what is the moral of the message? You know, just like what David did, you know, some of us have gone and taken extra steps into helping other people. Some of us have even gone to take extra things to help other people. But then in the end, it seemed like our efforts were in vain. It seems like our efforts, you know, nothing happened. And just like David, he says that, you know what, I am going to go there and show him. Haven't we all done that? Which just shows that this thing is humanly, guys. It is possible for you to feel angered. It is possible for you to say, "No, I am going to show them." Haven't you also done that thing where you go there and you say, "You know what, me, do this to me, out of all people, me," you know, and you decide to say, "I am going to show them. I am going to show them who I am. I'm going to show them what I'm made of," and all these kind of things. But that's like what David did. It is a human thing to feel that way, to feel done wrong, all right? When you do something good for someone, you also expect them to rather return the favor as well. So just like David did here, when he did these things, he then goes there and says, "Really, Nabal? Really, you gonna do this to me?" You know, haven't you also been in that situation where someone does something to you and you're like, "Really? Wow, after everything I had done for you." Not that you're expecting someone to do good to you, or you're expecting them to do a sort of nice thing for you, right? But just that thing of doing something good for someone, and in the end it turns out that they return evil when you had done actually good unto them, right? And this is the instance that David was in. So what is the Bible telling us here? Tells us that revenge is not for ourselves, right? Even if someone does bad unto you, even though you had done good for them, revenge is not for you. Revenge is not for you to take. It's not for you to take upon yourself. Just like David did here. He says when he was halfway to go and meet Nabal and to destroy everything, David was actually going to destroy everything. Have you ever been in that instance where you are now on your way to say, "I'm going to show them. I am going to show them what I'm made of." And then on your way there, you just think to yourself and you're like, on second thoughts, I think I might just go back. What is that voice that speaks to you? It is God who speaks to you and tells you that revenge is not for you to take, right? Just like in the instance of David. He then decided to say, "I'm not going to do that," when he met Abigail. And we hear that in the Bible that as time went by, or in the moral, when Nabal was, when he rose up and everything happened, it says that in the end, the Lord avenged David, right? And Nabal ended up passing away. Now, who was this Nabal? Now, Nabal was even of the house of Caleb. Who is Caleb? Remember the story of Abel and Caleb in the book, beginning of the Bible, in the book of Genesis, right? So we can understand that Nabal had it in him to say, no, I am not going to help you in any way, right? But what is it that we get in the end? In the end, we get that, you know what, we should not avenge, for it is the Lord that avenge. which then solidifies what we had said yesterday. So yes guys, that is the end of our video today, or end of this rather series of revenge that we've been talking about. Now the main thing to get from all of this is to know that revenge is not for you to take. Revenge is for the Lord, right? Even if people can do a bad against you, don't take it upon yourself and say, I'm going to show them. You know, that voice usually comes and you say, you know what, they can never do this to me. But now we realize from the Bible that revenge is not for you to take, but rather revenge belongs to the Lord, right? In due time, he will avenge you where you have lost, just like what he did with David. He avenged for him, right? Which just shows that don't take matters upon your hands and decide to go on yourself. Rather, it says that when Abigail was talking to David, she told him that, you know, when you do this thing and you go and you avenge for yourself and you use your own hand and your own power to avenge for yourself, right? She then tells him and says that when you do these things, it will haunt you, it will sit upon you. When one day you're throned, and you become a king, you will think about the day that you decided to take matters into your own hands. So this is the same message to you as well. You know, when you take matters upon your own hands and you decide to go there and avenge for yourself and to take revenge for yourself, right? You usually get to a point where you say, now, I shouldn't have done that. You know, have you ever been in that instance where afterwards you've done something bad and you've returned bad with bad, and then you sit back home and you're thinking to yourself, I shouldn't have done that. I'm sure you've also gone to that point. Now, this is why you do that, because revenge is not for you. You even end up calling the person after you've revenged bad with bad, and you say, you know, at that point, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry for how I reacted. I'm sorry for this and this and that, right? Which just shows that revenge is not for you. So that is our message for today, guys, and may God bless you. And I hope that these messages, when they come in, let them not come in one ear and God the other one, but may it be able to transform you and to change your life as well, so that you may become a better person. And with that said, may God bless you, and this is the end of our message for today. Even in our day and age, if you're a person that likes living by the gun, you as well are going to die by the gun. Whatever it is that you like living by, right, and it is bad to other people, the same shall also happen to you.